Hey guys, and welcome to this week's Sabbath School Short. I am so excited that you're here with us today to dive in to lesson number 10, which is titled, Jesus Opens the Way Through the Veil. And the memory text for this week is found in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 24, and it says this, "For Christ has not entered the holy places made with hands, which are copies of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us." We've been talking about this theme because it's a really big theme in the book of Hebrews, that Jesus is our high priest doing the priestly ministry work in heaven in the heavenly sanctuary. And like I said, this has been a common theme throughout the book of Hebrews. And we're going to talk a little bit more now about Jesus opening the way through the veil. The first couple of days in this lesson talks about the need for the veil, why the veil was important, and to kind of sum it up, the veil was basically the barrier to protect the people of God, the Israelites, and God himself, because God was literally dwelling with his people in the sanctuary. And remember what we talked about, I don't know if it was last week or a few weeks ago, but we talked about the fact that God's presence is light, right? And when light enters into darkness, it expels the darkness. And in that same way, we have sin within our lives. So if God were just to show up, in the Israelites' lives and just bam, his presence was there, the light would eliminate the darkness and it would be wiped out. So God prepared the sanctuary and told Moses to build the sanctuary so that he could dwell with them. And there was this veil that separated the most holy place from the holy place of the sanctuary so that the people of God could be protected. And I really want to dive into Wednesday and Thursday's lesson, because after it explains all that, the need for the veil and everything, it gets into these really beautiful promises that we can hold on to as Christians today. And really what this whole thing of Jesus opening the veil, what that looked like. You know, when Jesus died on the cross, the veil was torn in two. What did that signify? What's the point? So what? Right? Let's try to answer that question today. Let's look at Wednesday's lesson, which is titled The New and Living Way Through the Veil. And the quote that I really liked in Wednesday's lesson, it says this: "The book of Hebrews argues that Jesus has entered into the heavenly sanctuary and invites us to follow his lead. This idea agrees with the conception introduced before that Jesus is the captain and forerunner of believers." So we have this amazing invitation from Jesus that says, hey, come join me in the sanctuary. Come join me in the very near presence of God. And it's okay. You don't have to fear that presence because I have been the forerunner for you. I have paved the way for you to be in the very near presence of God. And that has amazing and huge implications, because if we are being invited into the very near presence of God, if we can even draw near to God, in the book of Hebrews it says, come boldly before the throne of God. If we can do that, it means that the problem of sin in our lives, in our hearts, has been taken care of by Jesus Christ. It means that God can now show up, boom, in our lives, and we won't be wiped out because we are now righteous children of God because of what Jesus has done for us, because of his mediation work in the sanctuary. We don't have to live under the fear and condemnation of sin. We've been driving this point home throughout this entire quarter, that we don't have to live under the condemnation and guilt of sin anymore because of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ and what he's done for us. We have an invitation to draw near to God in the heavenly sanctuary. We can draw near to God. We are able to do so because of the ministry of Jesus Christ. His death, his resurrection, his sacrifice gives us that opportunity. And Thursday's lesson drives this home even more. It's titled, They Will See His Face. And the quote that jumped out at me, it says, "The reality of Jesus' ascension and ministry in the heavenly sanctuary is a sure and steadfast anchor of the soul." That's Hebrews 6:19. "The guarantee that the promises have substance and are worthy of confidence. For us, faith has a historical anchor." I love that line. Faith has a historical anchor. Faith has an anchor, a historical event, of Jesus Christ dying on the cross, but not only dying on the cross on behalf of our sins, no, he rose again and went up into heaven and entered into the sanctuary to begin his priestly ministry, atoning for our sins, atoning for your sin, atoning for my sin, being the lamb, being the sacrifice on our behalf, so that we may now have the confidence to enter into the very near presence of God. There is absolutely nothing holding us back from that relationship with God right now. You may think that you're not good enough. You may see yourself as worthless. You may see yourself as never being able to possibly enter into the most holy presence of God. But let me tell you, that is a lie fabricated from the enemy, because what Jesus says is that it's okay that you're messed up. It's okay that you have fallen. It's okay that you fall short every day. I am doing the work of ministry for you so that you may enter into God's presence. I believe it is Ellen White who said that the most dangerous place to be in our relationship with God is thinking that we have to perfect ourselves before coming to him. Because the truth of the matter is we'll never perfect ourselves. But Jesus Christ has perfected us for us. He's done the work for us. So the lies of the enemy hold no weight. The lies of the enemy hold no power. The lies of the enemy hold no condemnation in our lives anymore, because our faith is rooted in a historical fact in Jesus Christ, his death, his resurrection, and his priestly ministry in the heavenly sanctuary on our behalf. We will see the face of God when he comes again. We will be able to be in so close contact with him, just like in Genesis when God would walk with Adam and Eve in the cool of the garden. We will have that opportunity, but don't hold anything back now from your relationship with God. Seek him daily. Drop to your knees and ask that he fill you up every single day, because there's nothing holding you back right now from that relationship with him, because the problem of sin in your heart, Jesus is taking care of. So I invite you to accept the invitation this week, every single day, to draw near to the very presence of God, to enter before the throne room boldly, knowing that there is no obstacle between you and God, because Jesus has taken that sin from you. Jesus has liberated your life.